for so long, so stuck in my own way. So I'ma enjoy this moment. It's the day that the Lord has made. Nothing to say, like the top down. Oh, let's put some more away, live right now. So let's not waste another day. Come to find out to see them. Oh, let's take nothing to say, like the top down.
Aloha everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for the last couple videos, I talked about how to find your purpose and how to deal with negative people. So for this video, I want to continue on with that. And yeah, let's jump into it. So when finding your purpose, there are going to be a lot of people, a lot of outside voices trying to tell you what to do and how to run things, or tell you like how to do X, Y, and Z, or just tell you like, hey, you should try out this instead, or go into this major, or, maybe you should try out this. No. You should really think about what you want to do and think about like, oh, hey, I'm going to stick with what I know. I'm going to stick with what I want to pursue and what I want to do in life. The saying goes, the dreamers are really what make the world go around, and life doesn't happen, or success doesn't happen overnight. I mean, people sometimes take 10 years to be successful. And I believe that if you really work hard in what you want to craft and what you want to achieve, you can really make it happen. But there are going to be those people that want to tell you, hey, you should really consider this, or you should really consider that. If you tell the whole world, it's like telling the whole world, like, hey, I want to do this, I want to pursue this. Or it's like, when you share your dream with people, and I know you're excited, right? I know you are excited about a passion or what you're passionate about, or you're just like really excited to like start a major, or you're excited to start school, or you're excited just in general to start a new venture in life. And then you share it like either with your parents or people from church, or you share it with like your friends or just people in general. It's like you go on stage and the people that you're sharing it to, it's the whole audience, right? And they're the one judging you. And it's like you're sharing it with that audience and they're critiquing you on what you're talking about. And some of them, like, they give feedback. It's like, Q&A afterwards, after your whole entire speech. And then some of them might give a comment after that. Now, are you going to like that comment? Are you going to like what they say? Maybe not. And then, constructive criticism is real, but, are you going to like that constructive criticism? Sometimes the most successful people in life are the ones that blocked out that noise. And, some of them, like, it's really easy for them. Like, I blocked out that noise. I blocked it out, And for me, I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to craft and what I want to achieve in life. I mean, I'm 26 years old. I'm trying to figure it out still. And for most people, it is that age where you hit your 20s, you come out of, your teen years, and you are trying to figure it out. And, For most people, they say it's like when they're still in their 40s, 50s. So don't think you are not alone. And for most people who are in that isolation season, I feel like a lot of you are in that isolation season where you feel like you are alone. Know that God is preparing a way for you. Know that God is calling you to something bigger. I've been through that. I've been through that isolation season. I've been through that hermit um, season, you know, and I saw everyone around me, you know, getting married, you know, getting a job and just moving up the ladder. Well, I was in this room, you know, being isolated and, everyone around me was just like doing their own thing. And for me, it's really hard because as I stated in my, previous videos, that I can't drive. I can't drive because of my disability. So it's even more so hard for me to get around. And, certain things like that is just really hard for me. But, when you are in that isolation season or the hermit season, it can be a real struggle, and you think you're alone and you think like the whole world is against you, but it really isn't. It really isn't. And it feels like for some of you guys, like you are really struggling with that. Like it feels like to me, like will I ever get a head start? Will I ever like get out of this season? You will. Just know that God is preparing a way for you in his room. Not like a room physically like this. I'm talking about like, you know, kingdom work. Kingdom meaning like what God wants you to do for the spiritual realm, the heavenly realm. God has a place for you, you know, in his kingdom. And know that you are worth something. Know that you are loved and you are divinely unique. And know that you are special. And I know it might seem like really rough for you right now because you are in that season. You are in that stage of your life where you're like, oh no, the whole world is against me. It's not. Just know that God is preparing a way for you. And if you feel called to do something, just make your own path. Follow God's path, follow his way, and just block out everybody and people from church or people who you may know may like call you out on things, right? It's just because they don't get it. They don't see your vision. Again, with like, it's like you being on stage and they're the audience, right? And you are sharing your vision, but they're just not getting it, right? So if you have like one or two friends who will cheer you on for everything, if you have like that close family member that are like so close with you, share it with them, but don't share it with like everybody because sometimes if you share it with like everybody, the dream may not come true because their opinions might work against you because you are expecting them to be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, you want to get into that? Oh my gosh, you want to get into whatever? No. A lot of people are going to criticize you and be like, oh wow, she wants to do that. For me, like, you know, I got the calling of human trafficking when I was 19, and I didn't know. I didn't know what that was. I'm gonna like laugh at myself because I didn't know what that was. I never heard of it, but now I'm more in tune. I'm more in depth. I'm more like on it with things. And, you know, I have, this mentor or this teacher. My friend Bethany really is, you know, a guide for me. She really helps me understand and how I can volunteer and help out my community with, understanding what human trafficking is and helping others create awareness over the topic of human trafficking. So it's all about divine timing and know what you feel is best for you. Know that sometimes being in that isolation season or in that hermit season, it could be a blessing because God is preparing something big. And for me, like going back to me, like I was in that hermit season or that isolation season for 2 years, maybe even three. Like, and I saw everyone around me, like getting a job, moving up the ladder. I was like kind of mad at God. I was like, God, what is going on? You know what I mean? I felt like, when is it ever going to be my turn? And the year 2024 came around. I was I was like, okay, things are starting to change for me. So know that you are not alone. Know if like you have a vision, if you have a plan for your life, just go for it. Just go for it. Honestly, like just do not share your plans for anyone. Do not share them. Like it's like this, right? If you have that one thing in mind for yourself and you are like sharing it with other people and you decide, hey, I'm gonna do this, and they're like, huh, I thought you wanted to do like say singing, and then you want to do like like a whole nother thing, like you want to like become an athlete, right? People are going to judge you because like one, like they might be stunned, or sometimes people they just get bored. People get bored and they need something to talk about, so they end up talking about you, and they're like, oh no, like did you see her or did you see him, like he's not in this certain ministry anymore, he just quit. But you know from my experience, like sometimes walking away from a certain ministry could be a really great thing for you because you know if God is calling you to a different season of your life, like trust in it. Do you know what I mean? Like just trust that God has bigger plans for your life. And I don't want to say like it's like this, but it is. We're like you are holding on to something like really tight. Like say maybe you're holding on to that bouquet of flowers and it's like really small, really, really small. And you're like, oh God, I really want to hold on to this because like, my boyfriend got it for me, or like, something like that. And God says, no, no, I I have something bigger for you. I have a whole bunch of bouquets, waiting for you. You know, God does not make mistakes. I know, like, sometimes, like, his timing can be very slow, but his timing is never off. Where, like, I know it can be, like, really frustrating because you just want it like that, and you want it like this, and you just want it, like, instantly. I know for me, like, I can be that way sometimes where, like, when I see people on social media and I see people, like, getting engaged, getting married, and, having kids, and it can be really frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong, it can be really frustrating, but know that you are not alone. Know that you are not alone in this hermit season, honey. You are not alone. You are not alone. God is preparing a way for you. God is making moves for you. Just have faith. Do not fake it till you make it. Faith it till you make it. And I feel like a lot of you guys, like, are wanting to go back to school, or you guys want to just make moves for yourself, or you want to, like, move. For me, like, I'm, like, kind of, like, in this season of my life where I'm like, I need a fresh start. I feel like every 20 something year old, has that season of their life, like, at some point in their 20s where they're like, oh, I need a fresh start. So I feel like a lot of you guys are in that same season. Whether it be, a negative person or a negative energy that has just been weighing you down. I feel like, a lot of you guys can just really tell. Like, for me, like, I've been feeling like I know what drains me, and I know what doesn't drain me. Like, I know what people I vibe with, and I know what people I don't vibe with. If I say, hey, this is not for me, it's not for me. And I feel like I've kind of been more intuitive this year, versus past years, versus like 2 years ago. Like 2 years ago, I was like very bubbly, very, like, you know, oblivious, very oblivious. And being oblivious is very dangerous. I feel like, you know, I just, when you've been through something, when you've been through, like, whether people have hurt you, whether people who have done you wrong, you are gonna gain some of that momentum. You are gonna gain your intuitive powers and be like, no, I don't vibe with you the way I used to. I don't vibe with you. Don't come near me. You know what I mean? I feel like people can just mistake your kindness for naive, or mistake your kindness for, weakness, whatever it may be. Just know that whatever it is, you know, whether they are being negative towards you, whether they are, you know, just being malicious, or whatever it is, know that it's okay to, like, stand your ground. I mean, for me, like, again, I am not perfect. And for me, I'm trying to be more, like, more better about, like, having boundaries with people. And I've come to realize I'm too nice to people, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, just come." No, no, like, and when people are, like, trying to get into your business, no. I feel like a lot of people who are trying to get into your business, they are just bored. They are just bored, and, like, those of you who are younger like me, and I feel like a lot of you guys are going through the same thing where like, a lot of, like, older people are trying to give you advice, but it's coming out the wrong way, and, like, you're like, "Um, excuse me, excuse me, like, I didn't need that today," or like, "Yeah, that did not need to be said," you know? It is okay to be like, "Hey, you are not, you are not whatever," and just say, "Hey, it's not okay." But a lot of people will try to get in your head because they don't get your vision. They don't get what you are trying to achieve. And a lot of you guys, you know, I feel like a lot of you guys, I feel like you have been through different seasons of your life, um, whether you guys try to start off with a ministry or you guys try to start up a job and it wasn't working for you. You guys just didn't vibe with that job. And you guys are like, oh, I should have done that. And you regret not doing that. So you guys are like, oh, like, okay, I want to do this. And now it's like this whole cycle. Like it's this whole cycle of like never ending. And maybe that's why you guys are in this isolation season where like, okay, I need to figure it out. I need to like make my way into this world again. And it feels like you are starting from the bottom. When start off slow, you know what, like the saying, like, slow and steady wins the race. For me, I'm, slow and steady. I like to take things slow. And for me, like I said, I like things like this sometimes. I wish I had things now. I wish I had, a journalism position. I wish I had, you know, either like a reporter position, a journalism position. But I know I have to start like, from the bottom. So know that you are really not alone in this. You will get to where you want to be and you will make your way in the world. And I believe in divine timing. I believe that you can do this and know that this isolated season that you're in, and know that this hermit season, it will end. It will end, and you are going to be right on top. Maybe you are going to be surpassing people that you thought were like ahead of you, and like who you thought like were still amazing. Like maybe you'll surpass them, and you are going to surprise a lot of people, and you are going to be like, hey, I just did that. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys are going to surprise a lot of people. And know that you are just not alone in this. Like I said, do not share anything. Share it with like one or two people who are like really close with you and like people who cheer you on, you know, as, I don't want to say like as a person, but like people who cheer you on, like, and see you, people who have been there for you from the beginning and actually like align with you. And I feel like if you keep them close and just keep your circle small, again, it's like if you share it with the whole entire audience, like they're not going to get your vision. They are not going to get, like, oh, hey guys, I want to go back to school. Hey guys, I want to do, like, I want to pursue this and I want to pursue that. No, do not share it on top of a stage. Do not share it on top of a platform. Do not share it. Share it with like your best friend, the most best friend you could ever think of, and then pray on it and manifest in it and know that one day it will come true. Pray that it will come true. Don't say if. If to me is like, okay, maybe one day it will come true. Oh, wish I would have, could have. No, no. Don't think about it. Just do it. Um, that is it for today's video. Know that you are beautiful, for you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.